Hey guys, it's me. First off, I want to say thank you for the support of my last video. I did not expect it to go to like 1,200 views. That's pretty awesome. So, I was changing strings on this thing. The strings are really old, and it had nothing to do with like some guys love old strings. It's nothing to do with that. It wasn't a cool reason that I didn't change them. The whole reason that the strings are old is because I'm lazy. And especially on this guitar, it's a bit of work. So I said when I got this string on, I should have done a video. I'm not going to start from scratch because I'd have to take the string off and show you. A little hack that I learned, I read about in the Gretsch ownership group on Facebook. So I'm going to try my best to show you this. Under here, we have these little pins. And I don't know how well you can see them. You can see where the ball, there we go. I can see it in the camera there. So that's where the end, your ball hooks onto. It doesn't go through the bridge, right? It goes into that pin. So you have to take your string, using any ball, 10 through 46s, what I've been using for years. I was a roto sound person for a while. So Rick Lamb, check him out on YouTube. He's got a great song that I like a lot called High Expectations, Low Self-Esteem. I recommend using like needle nose pliers because you have to bend this, okay? Because you have to go under that bridge, like so. You hook that in there, and then the problem becomes is trying to keep enough tension to keep this in place down here. Because what happens is once as you start running it through your machine head, your tuner up here, it has a tendency to pop off because you're trying to hold everything into place. Here's the hack, using a capo. You just slip that on, somewhere around there, doesn't really matter. And now you've got some tension on down here to keep that string in place. Just take your string. This is going to be weird because I'm not left-handed and I'm going to be using my left hand. You get your desired amount. Everybody's different of your length on your string. You bend that into place. I don't do that whole tying thing. I never have. This is the way that I was shown to do it. And it's worked for me for 30 some odd years. My guitars stay in tune. They play pretty good. So that's it. Anyway, guys, I decided that this is a guitar channel, and you just pop your capo off, straighten that out a little bit, and try to line it up with the saddle. That's way too tight. And there you go. Your string is on there, no problems. It worked for me. Like I said, I got it from the Gretsch ownership group. A guy recommended it, and then of course another guy came back and said, you don't need to do that. If you're a real man, you can put the strings on through there with your teeth. But I can't do it, so I don't know. Yeah, so I just said, instead of having all these like big topics and shit, let's just talk about guitar stuff. I think I gave like a little bit of a history on this guitar before and how it came to be. It was a birthday gift. I got it for my 41st birthday, and my partner Tammy sussed it out from a guy who was selling it, and she bought it and surprised me with it. We were doing a rockabilly thing at the time, and I wanted to howl about a guitar, and I had one of these before. It's not an expensive guitar. They're over $1,000 new. They're like probably $1,200, $1,300 new. That's a lot of money for a guy like me, you know. But that's it. Is what it is. I don't lose any sleep over it. This thing has been gigged. So there are the music cops out there that have their nice guitars, and I can guarantee you there's a lot of them that haven't had their fancy guitar gigged as much as this thing has. It's kind of almost a love-hate relationship. I didn't really use it a lot in the last year or so live, but this thing fights you a lot, okay? Like obviously the access up through here, once you get past 14th fret, like it's you can't reach. You can't do those like solos up there. So you either have to improvise and come back here somewhere else, figure out somewhere else on the neck and play it, or use another guitar. I've managed for a lot of the songs we're doing to just play the solos somewhere else. That's the advantage of knowing where every note is on the neck. Okay, is that you got somewhere to launch from and figure out, well, I can play this back here. Might not sound identical to the record, but you know, sometimes it's about the journey, right, and getting where you're going. And if you know you want to play an awesome guitar, because this thing sounds great. Like it's never, knock on wood, it's never let me down in a gig situation. It got broken once, fell off the stand, and it broke the nut. The repair guy that did this at Reed's Music strongly recommended to me for intonation purposes. Because of this, he also pinned a bridge for me. God love him. For intonation purposes and tuning stability, to go with the graphite nut, because he said to me, "Are you gigging this guitar a lot?" And I said, "Well, I plan to, because I hadn't had it a long time at the time." And anyway, man, he put it in there, and like this thing, it's been all over the islands. It's played a lot of gigs, and it's played a lot of different types of music. When you're in a band that plays anything from Dolly Parton to Guns N' Roses to AC/DC to Miley Cyrus to Laura Branigan, you know, it goes to show that guitar has like a lot of versatility, and it drives like you wouldn't believe. You know, you can hit squeal harmonics on it, or you can just go right to the sound of like the Edge of Breakup with this thing, and it always sounds good. Always sounds good, especially through the old Vox. And since we're talking about guitars, this is also a G120, G5 120. It's a 125th anniversary model. It's got the little thing on the back there. I don't know how many of them have that, like in the Gretsch Electromatic camp. I guess this particular model does. I put the stickers on it. Got flack for that too, and it's not even a vintage guitar. So, as you can see, I'm a bit of a Stones person. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, I had a guy say to me one time, he had a friend that had a classic vibe Strat, and he played it during a gig, and he felt somewhat almost inferior when he was playing. And like, I just thought that was funny, because he went back to the same bar the next night and played his actual Strat, his Fender. And I don't know why I call it actual. That was very music copy, you know, like it's like being one of those music cops, gear cops. But he played his Fender American made as opposed to his classic vibe Squire, and played better because he felt like he had a better real guitar. It should never be about what's written on the headstock. Like I said, I've played this thing so many gigs. You know, if you can actually see like the grime on the neck, you can see where I like to play a lot too there. And anyway, you should never feel that way. Here's another thing going around on the YouTubes and on the Reels, on the Facebook. Everybody's talking about underrated and overrated guitar players. To me, I don't know. I think there are plenty of underrated guitar players that don't get their due, but when it comes to overrated, I find it funny. Like, are they actually overrated, or is it just that they're popular or whatever? You like who you like, and that's how it is. You don't have to like the same musicians everybody else likes. One of the most common ones in one of the reels I watched, everybody just had a lot of hate on Slash, and I thought, you know, I like Slash. You know, I don't know, maybe there's something I don't know, but I like him for the riffage and the songs that, you know, Appetite for Destruction was a rockin' album, and I guess that's where I'm at when it comes to players. If the song grabs you, you know, I guess it's kind of like that whole thing about bands selling out. You know, they start off small and then all of a sudden they become huge, like Nirvana. And everybody's like, well, they sold out. It's not they sold out. It's just everybody saw what you saw, right? And then they just became popular. And that should be probably a good thing. But to some people, it's not. They just want bands to struggle and break up and go broke, I guess. Because there's only so long you can do it without making money, right? And I don't know if most people get that. So that's it. But I'm not going to keep you guys any longer, because I promised I wasn't going to come back, and now this is like the third one since where I've been back. Ian Rossiter, a friend of mine, monster player, messaged me when I did my third last video, and he said, oh, come on, man, you have more comebacks than Kiss. He's not wrong. Well, I gave up once, and I came back because I got a bunch of messages, and I took a break once because I was angry. Um, and the honest to godness of it all is that it's just getting harder to do. So if something comes up, I'm here. If I don't have anything on my mind to say, I'm not going to be here. That's where I'm at. But I'm not going to jump into the whole Shark Tank of like this whole thing with Giacomo Tura right now. Everybody did their video, present company included, and now like all the major creators are going after each other. And I don't know if it's for views and likes, but they're arguing against each other. So the reality of it is that the problem is not with them. The problem is that they called out somebody and they were asked questions. I think Rick Beato took the high road in the first place and just didn't release a video and didn't talk about it until somebody's like, well, where's he during all this? Why did he have to be anywhere? And after I uploaded my video, I'm like, why did I have to comment on it? I mean, I got asked questions and I had concerns, I guess, too. Coming from a small creator's perspective, it's going to do damage. Um, he's taking credit for something that could make somebody else have that success, on the social platforms. But that's it. So guys, anyway, thanks for being here. We want to talk about guitars again. Let me know, and we will. You got any questions? Let me know. CraigParty694 at gmail.com, and I'll try to answer it. But yeah, so give me your take on that whole underrated and overrated. Appreciate it. Fuck, I gotta change all those strings. Still 4 more to go.